Hey, how are you? John Patrick Morgan here, and I want to share kind of a weird idea. It's something I've been reflecting on about myself and my life over the past couple of weeks, and it's the way that I think about myself and my life and my work and the impact and the influence that I have. That seems to be useful to people because it kind of came up in the coaching conversation. I've been sharing it with others. The more I look at it, the more true and real it feels for me. So what happened was I was in a conversation with a client, helping him to see how he could take more time for himself, to chill out, relax, have leisure time, and that would not only not be a disadvantage to his clients, that it would be actually an advantage to his clients. And not in some roundabout way. I mean, yes, it's true, by taking a break, you're more relaxed and you can be more, in a better state of mind when you're with them. But there was a deeper essence to it, and I wasn't so super conscious of what it was, but I knew in my body I could feel there was a deeper truth to it. And so when I'm in that place of knowing there's something deeper and not sure what it is conceptually, I just follow what I'm receiving intuitively. And I saw myself at the supermarket buying chocolate for my wife. And so before I even knew how that fit, I just started to tell him, I want you to understand that one of the ways that I make sure that I'm being my best for you and I'm making a difference for you as my coaching client is that when I'm at the supermarket and I'm there, I'm buying chocolate for my wife, and I do that for you. And he's like, what? But as I speak it, I start to understand it. And what I understood and now can see is the fact of the matter for me is that when I'm at the supermarket buying chocolate for my wife, in that moment, I see chocolate and I know she loves it. And it's like I put two and two together. I act in service of love in my heart, a possibility that I love. I feel something. I act on that. I buy the chocolate. I bring it home. I give it to my wife. It's the right percentage that she likes. She's happy. I've expressed my love for something she loves. And so why is that for my client? Because the way that I think about my impact, not just through my work as a coach, but just my life, the value that I have to everybody that I meet is the deepest value I have for everybody and anybody that I meet is who I am. Like the content of my character, the personality that I have, the way I use my mind, the way I use my words, the actions that I take, all of that emerges from who it is that I am, on the patterns of my being. That's the greatest gift that I have to give. But, one of the greatest books that I've read because of how it informed me was a book called Connected by James Fowler and Nicholas Christakis. I hope they got their names right in the right order. Right names, don't know if it's switched the last names. But anyway, Connected. And in this book, they're scientists and they talk about the research they've done on data and the way that influence moves through networks. All right. And so first of all, they prove the whole 6 degrees of separation thing. Like we are connected to everybody through 6 degrees or less. Easy to prove now with computer networks, how the whole world is connected. But way more interesting to that was a principle they called 3 degrees of influence that they can prove time and time again in network after network. So what that is that you and who you are and your behaviors and your choices and your thinking and your worldviews and your attitudes, whether you are overweight, whether you smoke cigarettes, whether you vote Republican or Democrat or whatever you are, all these things that you think are just part of your own personal narrative that you've created because you have conscious decision in that. Most of it is actually the results of influence through people around you, and not just those people around you, but the people around them and the people around them. So up to 3 degrees, there is a measurable influence on your psychology, on your emotions, your opinions, your behaviors. Your destiny is determined mostly by people that you don't know. All right? And it's measurable. It's how it works. Circumstances are consequential. The people that are in our life are creating us. We are created by them. And so people talk about this all the time. Like, hey, the people you spend the most time with, the 5 most people, you're the average of them. You're also the average of their friends and their friends' friends. So then people, there's like 100, maybe, what is that? 55? I don't know. Do the math. A lot of people. And so that's interesting to me. But what's even more interesting is the reverse orientation. This is what gives my life purpose, is that my 5 closest friends, let's say, are the average of me. The people they know are the average of them and thus me, and the people out there are the average of me. So the other part of the equation, my own independent agency, how I determine my narrative, the choices I make when I'm at the grocery store create me. They create my character, they create my personality, they create who I am, and they are creating everybody in my world. They're creating people that I know, and people that those people know, and people that those people know. And it goes out at least 3 degrees, measurably. And so if that's the case, then every moment of my life is an opportunity to create myself in such a way where the outflow of my influence, which is happening whether I mean to or not, whether I want it or not, it is happening. Every chance in my life is a chance, every moment is a chance to create myself in such a way where who I be flows out into the world in such a way where it creates a more beautiful world. You know, we're washing our hands right now. We're wearing a mask, a lot of us. And why are we doing that? Sometimes to protect ourselves, but largely to protect each other. We understand the impact that we can have through contracting the virus and having asymptomatic spread, and we don't want to be part of that. We want to protect people that we know and people that we don't know. It's the same thing. It's not just about the genetic biological virus, it's about the memetic virus, the virus of ideas, behaviors, attitudes, character. Is a person acting from love or are they acting from fear? I try to make that choice to act from love more and more, not just because of what it can get for me, but actually mostly and largely because of the impact that I have on everybody through how I'm being. And if you look at that, if you look at it and you think, oh God, that's burdensome. I mean, are you burdened right now with washing your hands to keep people safe? No, because when you're connected to the side of it where it's actual service, it's not something you have to carry. It's an opportunity to be connected, to feel like you actually matter. And the thing is, the only thing that's the difference between you mattering and not mattering is actually waking up and acknowledging that you can't not matter. You do matter. That's why everybody's on lockdown right now, because every body matters. And it doesn't just matter for a virus. It matters for character. It matters for who we think we are, how we act. And so so anything that I do in my life, when I'm conscious and I'm acting from love, I'm doing it for you. And I don't care if we've never met, because if you're watching my videos, my being is having an influence on you. I tell my clients all the time that are starting to create videos for the internet, it's like, when I create my videos, the content is important, but it's not as important as me just being with the person. That's primary, because I know that my being with you has an influence on you and creates you. And if I'm yelling at my wife and I'm not apologizing to her and I'm keeping it fractured and then I try to make a video for you, this morning I raised my voice to my wife. And if I hadn't apologized and created wholeness and union, we were in the car, we hadn't talked about some stuff and it flared up, but I apologized, we hugged, we made up. If I try to come here and speak a video to you without being whole there, my state of being is influenced in such a way where it creates you from that level. And so I can't have that. I can't stomach being in the world in such a way where there's internal incoherence, because I know that it's not just me that suffers that. That'd be like pretending that I don't have COVID if I really did. I'm not going to try to hide the virus from you because I know you're going to get it. You can't not. It's asymptomatic spread. Our state of being is spreading whether we want it to or not. And so if that's the case, I want to keep my body healthy, keep it clean, act from love in every moment. What I do behind closed doors when you're not here and you can't see me is just as important and maybe even more important than when I'm with you, because it creates me, and who I am creates you, and you can't stop that, and nor can I stop being created by you. The last thing I'll say on that is the more of an intimate relationship we have with a person, the stronger the conduit for that influence is. So somebody like myself on the internet who you're not necessarily in a relationship with, I'm not going to have as much of an impact on you as somebody who you're in real relationship with day to day, and vice versa. Like, you can't have as much impact on me as my wife can and my son can. I think we know that, but I think the reason that's important to remember in this context is because those people closest to us are the ones that we are most creating, and so keep them in your heart. When I look at my wall and I see my post-it notes of my handful of clients, and I have something in my life that I could do that's either from fear or from love, I choose love not just for me, but for my wife and my son and for them and my dad and my mom and my sister and the people that matter to me. It's like you're all with me all the time, and you help me to choose. I'm not alone. It's not just me. I don't get to be living an independent, separate life. The life that I live is a life for you because it can't not be given to you. Everything I do it for you. I love that song. I know it's a cheesy song from like the 80s or 90s, Bryan Adams. I just listened to it before I shot this video. I'm like, haven't heard it in 10, 20 years, maybe 30 years. But it's like, they nailed it. I know that's about like a woman and a guy and stuff, but like, it's actually true for me that everything I do it for you. And when I say you, I mean whoever it is that I'm talking to. So you listening right now, everything I do in my life, because you're here watching this video, I literally do it for you. Because I create my best version of myself. Like, I fuck up all the time. I'm not saying I get it right. I'm saying I have an intention. And I have an orientation and I have a commitment. And that's for you. And I love you for being here. And I'm so grateful that you watch these videos. And if you would like deeper support than receiving me this way, which I'm grateful for, but if you'd like deeper support, the way for us to do that is in dialogue. If I can actually hear you and listen to you, and I can receive that, then I can augment what I have to give you in response to that, and we can dance and we can create, and I do it all the time. I meet people all the time that have been watching my videos for years but never reached out, and finally they do, and we start a conversation and things start to shift in their life and unfold in ways that are faster and more magically they could have ever experienced or expected, and then suddenly we go from just some YouTube viewer or Facebook viewer that I've never actually spoken to. Within weeks, we're working together in a way they couldn't have seen even happening, and we're creating magic in their lives. Things can happen and change quickly, and if that's of curiosity to you, reach out to me. Let's talk. And if not, totally cool. Subscribe, comment, like. Just keep coming secretly and watching the videos too. I'm grateful that you're here. I love you so much. I'll talk to you soon. Bye for now.